Roll the tape.
So when you say out of competition, I've heard you mention that earlier. Out of competition is basically when the fighters or athletes in general are not competing. Maybe they're in training. Maybe they don't have a fight scheduled as of yet. Is that out of competition? Is that the meaning of that?
That's the meaning of it for all sports that are enrolled in testing, whether it's track and field or whatever. But what VADA has is VADA doesn't have out of competition testing. So
Let me do a recap. I walked her into the question by first prefacing the question by letting the audience members know I knew what out of competition is. Out of competition testing is. I said to her, so it's out of competition testing when an athlete, a professional boxer, a fighter is not competing, right? Like in football, the off season. In baseball, the off season. Well, in football, we call it training camp. Basketball, the off season. In boxing, we're taking a break. The fighter doesn't have a fight officially scheduled. That's out of competition testing. When an athlete or a fighter can be tested 365, 24/7, even when they don't have a fight scheduled. I done cracked this case wide open. Marty Matlock is here now. Think about what I just said to Margaret. Doctor, excuse me, put doctor on her name. Gotta respect her. Dr. Margaret. I asked her, isn't that out of competition testing? When the fighters and athletes are not competing? In competition testing is the testing leading up to the fight. When the fight is officially scheduled, right? Okay, so out of competition means that the fighters are not competing. They're just relaxing, they're chilling, they're on vacation, they're doing their own thing. They're doing what they want to do. They're having fun. They don't have an official fight schedule. So there's no need for testing. And she said yes. In all sports. And that's the standard for all anti-doping agencies around the world. And then she also said something else. VADA doesn't have out of competition testing. Boxing Hacker, you can't wriggle your way out of this one. Bill Haney supporters, you can't wiggle your way out of this one. Devin Haney fans, you can't wiggle your way out of this one. Content creators, and I know some of you watching me right now that support the Haneys, you can't wiggle your way out of this. I'm going to say it I'm going to let y'all hear that last part because I got something for that. I got something for it. I got something for it. Double salute, Boxing Hacker. My God, you got to keep paying how you weigh, Boxing Hacker. And I appreciate your support. Boxing Hacker says in the super chat, Manager Marty, you're cutting the video short. She defined it in that interview. This is the interview, by the way. It just means that they have the same test in and out of competition testing. Boxing Hacker, I know you want to defend the Haneys, and I get it. And you want to defend Victor. Man, I'm cool with that. I get it. Bruh, you telling me to play the whole thing. I'm the one that had the whole interview with her. I'm the one that called her to come up here. You don't think I knew what I was talking about, bruh? Bruh, you think out of competition means a panel of tests, and I'm telling you it doesn't. Okay, let's say, okay, great. Let me put this thing up there. Great. Let's just hypothetically say, Boxing Hacker, the last sentence you said on your screen. Everybody look at your screen real quick, please. Boxing Hacker is telling me, the man in the business of boxing who's been dealing with testing. Okay, Boxing Hacker says it just means they have the same tests in and out of competition. Well, if it means that they have the same test in and out of competition, boxing hack. Then why did Dr. Margaret Goodman say this? Listen, if what you're saying is true, that Dr. Margaret Goodman means that VADA have the same test in and out of competition, then why would she say this part? If it means that VADA is administering or being the mediator between in and out of competition testing, right? Then why, that's what you said. It's the same test in and out of competition. So then why does she distinguish that by saying this? Listen.
Whether it's, track and field or whatever. But what VADA has is VADA doesn't have out of competition testing. So
you heard that? It don't matter what else she say after that. She confirmed that VADA does not have out of competition testing. Let's not overcomplicate this, boxing hacker. It's very simple. It's very simple. See, you can try to spin it, but I got something for you, boxing hacker. Hey, Bill Haney fans, I got something for you. Hey, Haney paid channels, I got something for you. Devin Haney fans that don't want to believe me, I got something for you. Bill Haney, I got something for you. Victor Conti, I have something for you. And VADA, I have something for you. If out of competition testing means that the athletes get tested when they're not competing, when they don't have a competition schedule, if that's what that means, then that equally means that 365 24/7 testing is a hoax. It's fake news. Because VADA doesn't have out of competition testing. You still don't believe me? I'm going to let y'all go right here in about 5 minutes. But I want to leave y'all with this. You keep saying if you're not wrong, why am I not playing the rest of what she said? Because the rest of what she said doesn't matter. As long as I, the interviewer, get her to admit, is basically what I was doing, that there's no out of competition testing with VADA, then equally I have gotten everybody to see that there's no such thing as 365 24/7 testing through VADA. You still don't get it? I got something for you. Look at your screen right now. Look at it. Look at it. See, all of y'all Devin Haney fans, Bill Haney supporters, Bill Haney channels, y'all cannot refute what have already been published. Now go on and look at your screen. We all gonna read the highlighted portion together, okay? Let's read it, class. Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. Now, we all read that together. And if you can't see the screen because you might be driving, you might be cleaning up the house, you might be busy, you might be at work, you heard that, right? I'm going to put it on the screen again because I believe somebody missed that. I'm going to read it again now. This is off of VADA's website. And nobody can lie and say I made this up and typed it up myself. Because if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see where it says VADA/testing.org. I screenshotted this directly from VADA's website. Let's read it all again, class, together, in harmony, in unison. Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. So if athletes are subject to testing 8 weeks prior to a fight, and that's the only type of testing VADA is doing, then Dr. Margaret Goodman was telling the truth when she said that VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing. So if VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing, and they only test 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight, then that means there's no such thing as 365 24/7 testing, correct? I mean, at least they know that they're going to be tested 8 weeks prior to the bout. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't tell a smart cheater that. I wouldn't publicize that, because smart cheaters can know how to cycle on and cycle off these athletes with that synthetic testosterone, that EPO, that insulin, and that HGH. But who am I? I'm just a manager at Walmart. Who am I? I'm just a manager at Target. And I called out of work too today. I was supposed to be on the shopping carts outside today. That's why I thank y'all for your super chats. Now, I wish somebody would dispute that, because I'm going to leave y'all with this last piece of evidence. Y'all ain't going to find this nowhere else. And if you do, you know where they got it from. Now, check this out, Rick. Check this out. Let's go back to their website, because I'm about to close the casket on all of this. Let's go back on there. Look. I'm gonna read it again. So now we know that VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing. Y'all heard the founder of VADA tell y'all that herself. Let's go back to the website of VADA. Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. Y'all see that, right? I'm about to make this thing plain now. So if that's the case, that the website, and by the way, VADA's website don't even say anything about a 365 24/7 program. It says what I just read it said. Now, if they go and change it after the day, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We got the screenshots and we see what it says. Every fighter will be subject to testing 8 weeks prior to a scheduled bout, a scheduled fight, right? So then my question is, if there's no such thing as 365 24/7 testing, because VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing, they only test 8 weeks prior to a bout, then how can VADA go on social media under their own administrative channel on X, formerly known as Twitter, and say that VADA welcomes Devin Haney to 24/7 365 program? And it says to our, see, they made ownership. Huh? When you say our, you establishing ownership. You're establishing possession when you say our. VADA testing welcomes Devin Haney to our 24/7 365 program. Well, VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing. And they don't even list a 24/7 365 program on their website. So what program are they talking about? If 24/7 365 doesn't exist through VADA, then what program are they talking about? Huh? You still don't get it? I'm going to leave y'all with this. Let me tell you what's the truth now. VADA, whoever's running it, I got a very, 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 very high level of suspicion who I think is running VADA's VADA's Twitter account. But I don't have no proof, so I'm gonna leave my opinion to myself. But nonetheless, VADA posted our 24/7 365 program. What program? And then turn right around and place this on the website. Year-round enrolled fighter. You see that? They ain't say none of this in November on the Twitter account, or X, formerly known as Twitter account. Bill Haney ain't said it on the Twitter account, neither did Victor Conti, but they all saying it now on January the 2nd. I know why they all saying it on January 2nd. because that's in direct response to the video that I published December 31st, 2024, where y'all, and I just played some of the excerpts. That's where that video came from. Go back and watch it on my channel. I'm going to put it in the description after this live go off for some of y'all that missed it, where the founder of VADA acknowledged that VADA doesn't have out of competition testing. Let me go back to their website, and I'm going to let y'all go. Let's read it again, shall we? Professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. Now, somebody can come back and say, well, Manager Marty, when they say 365 24/7 testing, they're talking about 365 24/7 testing within the 8 weeks. I'm going to show you right now that's a lie. If anybody come back and try to refute me by saying that, this is how you know it's a lie. Watch this. Look at your screen. Because when Devin Haney was getting tested or enrolled in VADA for the Ryan Garcia fight, look under his name. It doesn't say year-round testing. It doesn't say year-round enrolled. It doesn't say 365 24/7 testing, does it? But here, after the whole scandal was exposed of 365 24/7 testing, now this pops up. Now look at Devin Haney and look at underneath the date of November 19th. You see what it say? Year-round enrolled fighters. Well, if they was already doing 365 24/7 testing within the 8 weeks prior to a bout, then how come they didn't put year-round enrolled under Devin Haney name then? Okay, why they put it up there now? Look at your screen again. Year-round enrolled fighters. Why they ain't put that up there then when Devin Haney was getting prepared for the Ryan Garcia fight in his last fight? You know why? Because they're making a distinction. So it's not 365 24/7 testing within the 8 weeks. They're saying this is even after 8 weeks, even before the 8 weeks. You see that? They're making a distinction by publicly acknowledging it. Look, Devin Haney was up there in June 1st. They ain't put year-round enrolled, but then now they put year-round enrolled under his name this time in November. You see that? They're making a distinction, and that's what I'm trying to show you. Now, you go back to their website. It says testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled fight. And now for the grand finale. And I promise you, I'm going to let you go after this. This is how you know that she was right, Dr. Margaret Goodman, when she said VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing, right? So if VADA doesn't have out-of-competition testing, then that means that 365 24/7 testing through VADA is a hoax and fake news. And guess who proved it? Guess who proved it? Let's go back to see the tweet that VADA said. That's the website. Let's go back to the tweet. VADA said Devin Haney is welcome to our 24/7 365 program. After that, Victor says Devin Haney is the only pro boxer in the world doing 24/7 365 drug testing. Right after that, Bill Haney says Devin Haney continues to set the standard as a clean, tested, and proud champion, 365 24/7. They kept screaming at 365 24/7 after they heard me tell the people that 365 24/7 testing is a hoax through VADA. That was their rebuttal. That was a response directly to me. I get it, but I got something for y'all. The most innocent lamb in all of this exposed it. And guess who I'm talking about? Devin Haney. He didn't mean to do it. Devin Haney did not mean to do it. VADA is getting instruction from Victor. Bill Haney is getting instruction from Victor. And Devin Haney is getting instruction from Bill Haney and Victor. But I'm going to tell you something, Devin. You're proving my point. Everybody look at your screen right now, and I promise you I'm going to let you go home. Look at your screen, and let's read it again. VADA said on their website, professional athletes will volunteer to be subject to unannounced testing at any time during the 8 weeks prior to a scheduled bout. Y'all saw that again? They only do testing 8 weeks prior to a scheduled bout. They don't do out of competition testing. So there's no such thing as 365 24/7 testing. It's a hoax. It's fake news. And Devin Haney helped prove my point. Because VADA on their website, they're right when they say they only test 8 weeks prior to a bout. I wish somebody would ask me how Devin Haney, the innocent lamb, proved my point. He did. He did prove it. Look at your screen. Bam. I'm about to let y'all go home right off of this. I'm going to end my live right off of the words of Devin Haney. Devin Haney told y'all, March, I'm back. Isn't March 8 weeks from the day? The young man, Devin Haney, inadvertently proved my point. Devin Haney is enrolled in regular testing right now as of after January 2nd because Devin Haney will be fighting 8 weeks from today. And that's why he's being enrolled and tested by VADA, because their website told us that they only test 8 weeks prior to a bout. And the young lad, Devin Haney, told us in 8 more weeks, when he's enrolled in VADA testing now, that's when you're going to see him fight again in March. Not 365 24/7 testing. All these months he was suspended that he was enrolled in getting tested. No. He's enrolled in regular testing because that's all VADA can offer. They can offer regular testing because that's all they have. They don't have out of competition testing. You know, like when Devin Haney wasn't competing, they wasn't testing Devin. They testing him now because in 8 more weeks, the young man got to fight. He said it. These are his words. In March, he's coming back. I rest my case, and this court is now adjourned.